こんにちは、ハリケーンフットボールです。今回の教材はまたリバプールの遠藤航に関する動画です。リバプールはミッドウィークでチャンピオンズリーグも消化していますが、今回の動画はその前のブライトン戦についてのものです。プレミアリーグ第10節のブライトン戦で15分程度の出場をし、クローザーの役割を全うした遠藤航は、試合の終盤に逆転勝利をしたという厳しい展開だったこともあり、他のサブプレイヤーと共に大きく称賛されています。今回の動画ではザ・レッドマンテレビのメンバーが試合後のレビュー動画にて、遠藤航含め、サブのメンバーがいかに大事な仕事をしているのかについて語っています。これまでの遠藤航の状況はとても厳しかったと思いますが、このような話を聞けるだけでも、少し救われるような気がします。実際にどのように話しているのか、早速チェックしてみましょ
う。Can I also say is that as soon as I saw Endo coming on, I thought to myself, I love this, you know, because how many times in games do Liverpool in the past couple of years just go for it and just keep it the way it is and hope that we get the third to kill the game off, but also completely risk, drawing the game. I saw Wataru Endo and I thought, cheeky that, you know, because he's decided 2-1, you're not scoring anymore. I don't care how good you were in that first half. I'm going to bring on this lad who's just going to pick up yellows here, there and everywhere. Volleys all around the gaff. Win the ball back, because my word did he win the ball back. Won loads of challenges. And I just loved how we backed him, because Wataru Endo hasn't had a lot of game time. And actually, I think we looked at the pre-season games and thought, he's got Wataru Endo there in pre-season and he's doing everything he can to not get him on the pitch, it felt like. And he puts the trust in him, and I thought he was brilliant, but I just loved how Liverpool just decided, no, you are not scoring anymore.
It was the right
reminded
the fact
me,
it was for Darwin is that,
but also it was the fact that, the season we won the league, Liverpool was so good at getting in those positions and going, now we're just going to lock everyone up here and you're not going to do anything.
There you go, bang,
good
sound,
luck,
no
good
problem.
Luck breaking us down. And I just loved how we had the brains.
Do you know what it reminded me of? It's just a proper footy manager thing where you go all out attack, 4 men up front, your whole City manager playing in orange and black, and then all of a sudden you get the goal and you're like, oh my days, are you kidding me? All out defence midfield, time wasting up. And that's exactly what we did, and it's like, this is it. This is something else that's not seen from Slot.
No, what I would say is yes to all of what you just said there, and even the Conor Bradley change as well later on is another an example of what he's trying to do in terms of locking it down a little bit. But I still maintain, I'm sorry to be somewhat negative on it, I still maintain that Brighton had far too much joy in the closing stages there. I remember Joe Gomez, Ryan Gravenberch makes a bit of a clear.
Oh, the Gomez one on the edge of the area,
6-yard box. So I could imagine Arne Slot made those changes and sort of changed what we were trying to do with the mindset that these aren't going to get anywhere near our goal, and yet still they did a little bit.
Yeah,
I suppose what I would say is that, and you mentioned them there, I agree that we didn't have control of the game, but Keller didn't have to make a save.
No, that's what I
mean. I thought in the first half they were bypassing us and getting in and around the box a bit more. I thought we were a bit deeper, and Gomez was amazing. Gomez, you know, when you lose centre half at half time to an injury, that not only deflates you, it can give them a little boost. You know, Ibu's going off. They're going to bring on a lad who's been playing fullback for 2 years. And the fact that he was brilliant.
The fact that he nearly scored as well within a couple of minutes. I think that helped to get the crowd.
I was going to say, I think Joe Gomez full stop helped get the crowd up, because all of a sudden you had a lad who was playing to that sort of level and just looked bang up for it. And I know the rest of the team did, so we kind of coincided with one another. But it felt like because Joe Gomez was so brilliant, a lot of Anfield went, fuck, it
was that halfway line where someone tried to run past him and he just you tackled him without going to the ground and just took the ball away, and everyone just went and erupted for him. He was sensational, and he was, you know, we've talked about how good all the shows were. I think of all of them, he was the best. I thought he was magnificent, and again, it was weird because I think I was post game, and I think Ella mentioned, why are we surprised? You know, he's been good for he was good last year as well. I was like,
because it's been 5 years since he's done it centre half.
Well, it was like he wasn't trusted to play centre half as much. You know, granted, I understand he was filling in at full back as well, but even at the start of this season, Joe Gomez had been around. He wasn't in the first match day squad. There was talk that he was getting shipped off somewhere, Newcastle, Anthony Gordon and all this. Gerald Kwanzaa was ahead of him in the pecking order.
He's not now.
When the manager looked at the bench and he went straight to Joe Gomez, and Joe Gomez proved him right. I thought one of his best centre-back displays, you know, on the right-hand side as well, and that might help him out. You know, he has nothing.
And also being able to
superb midweek.
Yeah, he was.
Absolutely superb midweek. He could have been man of the match midweek as well. I thought he locked down that left centre-half position. I thought he was brilliant. And I don't know why I was so surprised to see how good he was when he came onto the pitch. But I think mainly it's because he's not played loads of minutes. He's just played in the League Cup, and that's clearly what Slot thought of him at that point. And he was the captain. He was the leader in that back four, really. I mean, obviously Robbo was there, but, you know, he's got a young Quansah next to him. Who, you know, I love and I think's brilliant, but has had some moments where he's struggled this season.
In every game?
Pretty much. But I still thought he was sound. Look, mistakes happen for that Brighton game, so it is what it is. He'll be back stronger. But I don't know why I was so surprised. I think because of just how big of a game it was then to throw him in when he had to choose between, obviously, Quansah and Gomez. But yeah, he was absolutely phenomenal. And what you mentioned there, Brighton had a lot of the ball still, but I don't know whether you felt this inside the ground, Chris. There's a lot of times where people have come to Anfield in the last 15-20 minutes. They might have a lot of the ball, but you never feel like Liverpool are under, like, they're going to concede at any moment.
You know what it was for me? And I bet it'll be the same for everybody, whether you're in the ground or you weren't. It was looking at that City score that was making me nervous.
The pressure of that.
More that than anything else. Like, not Brighton. I mean, you have to look at it. I think we had 4 big chances in the game compared to their 1. We didn't score any of our big chances. I mean, I don't even know if that classifies the Virgil van Dijk one where he just airballs.
Joe Gomez to tell that Salah going through one-on-one. I think Jones could have scored when he cuts back inside.
I don't know why he cuts back.
Yeah.
No.
It was.
We were creating the best chances. You said it right before. We were getting the blocks in before they were a problem for us, weren't they? Keller wasn't making those saves, and it was down to Gomez. It was down to Gravenberch stepping up. Yeah. You know, Jones, Diaz, all these guys, Enzo. You know, we were just, to a man, absolutely sensational. And it might not be the perfect sort of performance, but my word, was it an exhilarating performance from Liverpool?
Baby. I think also it's probably worth mentioning if you look at
was it Al Davis?
I have, yeah. Just it's worth mentioning, like, you know, talk about, like, obviously new manager and what's the atmosphere going to be like. A lot of the fringe players, or the lads who he clearly didn't go for first, and there was talk of trying to leave the club, or, you know, Endo, there was a bid rejected for Endo, wasn't there? Kevin Keller admitted himself he was going to go. Joe Gomez, you know, wasn't in the Ipswich matchday squad because there was talk about his future. Darwin Nunez, who was out in the cold for a while and has now come back in. Costas, you can probably say the same.
Just running around out in the cold, keeping himself.
Yeah, and
the guy just doesn't stop running, does he?
All 5 of them aren't sulking. They've all, I don't know if that's personal pride or it's the togetherness of the group. It's something that Arne Slot has said to them all. But no one's kicking off. No one, you know, they've all been called upon. You know, Endo, there was one time he wasn't even on the bench because the squad was so good, and now all of a sudden, it's a bit like, we need you now, mate, Sam, and he's good to go. So I think that's credit to not only Slot and the environment that he's continued from Jurgen, but also those players. You know, it's easy when you're, again, to be Joe Gomez, when your club have literally said, you can, you know, someone else can have you, we've accepted the bid, or you're going to be part of a swap deal. You know,
it's good for the player, but Chloe, it's also good management being able to bring them back in.
Exactly that, yeah.
It is. I mean, we've mentioned the players there, and Wataru Endo, when we had put a bid in for Zubimendi and everyone spoke about it, he turned around and went, absolutely, I'd welcome it because it means the team gets better. You know, so what? I'll try and fight for my place, and I love that mentality and that attitude.
I love them.
But at the same time, you've still got to keep them invested into the project and make them feel like they are part of it. There are a lot of players nowadays who just sulk and have far too much. You know, they think they are bigger than the football club that they're representing at times. And we've had a no dickhead policy for quite a while, and hopefully we'll see that continue. But you've just loved how, I mean, did Joe Gomez come out after it and say, I love everything about this football club? And it's like, oh my word, like,
same, mate.
Yeah, same. I love that from you. And he's been here a long time, and he's probably not played as many games as he wanted. He had a phenomenal season last season, went under the radar a little bit probably, and then you go into a new season, you're now without Klopp, who gave you those chances last season, and you've got to try and work your way back in. Then the Newcastle situation happened, so it's a great environment from Slot to have them all still invested and buy in, and make sure that they know that at points this season you are going to be vital and you can still challenge for your shirt. This is how I want to play. If you learn and you adapt to that and you play to it and show it in training, then you will get your chance. And fair play to them for having the mentality and the attitude to know this is bigger than just me. If we're going to try and win something this season as big as the Premier League, that means everyone's got to give everything, and they've got to deal with the decisions of the manager because it's his first season, so he's seeing us all for the first time. He's getting to grips with all of us too. So a great mentality that we've started, and hopefully we can continue it.
次は解説です。ザ・レッドマン TV のメンバーのスカウス英語はいつもとても難しいですね。ちなみに私は留学経験はあるものの、テックスタートアップ界隈でプロジェクトマネージャーやプロダクトマネージャーを本業としていた、ただの純ジャパのおじさんですので、リバプール地方の強いアクセントのあるスカウス英語にはいつも苦労しております。多少の間違いはあると思いますが、あらかじめご了承ください。それでは解説を見てみましょう。
I saw what Tara went there and I thought, cheeky that you.
チーキーはイギリス英語の口語でよく使われる表現で、生意気な、大胆な、ずうずうしいという意味を持ちます。ただし、必ずしも否定的ではなく、愛嬌があって少し大胆だったり、挑戦的だったりすることを好意的に示すことも多いです。日本語のいい度胸、面白いね、粋だねといったニュアンスに近い場合もあります。
I saw what Tara went there and I thought, cheeky that. I saw what Tara went there and I thought, cheeky that. Volleys all around the gaff, win the ball back.
バリーズを直訳するとボレーですが、ここでは全力でのキックやタックルのイメージです。アラウンドザガフはイギリスの口語表現で、あちこちでや至るところでという意味です。ガフは場所や家を指すスラングで、ここではフィールドを意味しています。
Volleys all around the gaff, win the ball back. Volleys all around the gaff, win the ball back.
That not only deflates you.
インフレートとデフレートは、経済用語のインフレーションとデフレーションの語源です。デフレートは空気を抜くや縮ませるという意味で、物理的な空気を抜く意味から比喩的に意気消沈させるなど心理面でも使われ、物理的に何かが縮小する場面や人の士気がくじかれる状況でよく使います。経済では価格を下げる意味も含み、具体的抽象的の両方で幅広く使用されます。
That not only deflates you. That not only deflates you.
I was going to say, having Joe Gomez full stop help get the crowd up.
フルストップはイギリス英語では文末に使うピリオドを指します。これでおしまいというニュアンスから断固とした結論や議論の余地はないといった断固とした主張を表し、カジュアルな口語表現として完全にや全くという意味でも使われます。
I was going to say, having Joe Gomez full stop help get the crowd up. I was going to say, having Joe Gomez full stop help get the crowd up and just look bang up for it. And then...
バングアップ4はイギリスの口語表現で何かにすごく乗り気である。とてもやる気があるという意味で、特に何かに強い意欲や興奮を持って取り組む準備ができている状態を表します。エキサイティッドなどの表現よりもカジュアルでエネルギッシュな印象を与えます。
And just look bang up for it. And just look bang up for it. And then...
Gerald Kwanzaa was ahead of him in the pecking order.
北京オーダーは組織やグループ内での序列、上下関係を指す表現です。もともとは鶏のつつく順番を意味し、群れの中で強いものから弱いものへと順位が決まることから、人間社会の上下関係や順位付けを比喩的に表現します。
Gerald Kwanzaa was ahead of him in the pecking order. Gerald Kwanzaa was ahead of him in the pecking order.
Where he just airballs.
エアーボールは、スポーツでは主に完全に外れたシュートや空振りとして使われるスラングです。ボールがゴールに向かって飛んだものの、リングやポストに全く触れずに外れてしまうことや、単純にボールを空振りすることを意味することもあります。
Where he just airballs. Where he just airballs. But my word was an exhilarating performance from the... But my word was an exhilarating performance from the... But my word was an exhilarating performance from the...
Darwin Núñez, who was out in the cold for a while. And...
アウトインザコールドは、米遇される。取り残される。無視されるといった意味の表現です。寒い場所に一人取り残されるイメージから来ており、誰かがグループやチーム、計画から外されてしまったり、重要な役割から外されたりする際に使われます。
Darwin Núñez, who was out in the cold for a while. Darwin Núñez, who was out in the cold for a while. But no one's kicking off. No one, you know,
キックオフはイギリス英語の口語表現で、文句を言う。トラブルを起こす。不満を爆発させるといった意味で使われます。不満をあらわにしたり、場を乱すイメージです。
but no one's kicking off. But no one's kicking off. No one,
Days who just sulk and have far too much.
サルクは、ふてくされる、拗ねる、という意味で日常英会話で比較的よく使われる表現です。特に、子供や思春期の若者が感情を表に出して拗ねている様子や、大人が不満や苛立ちを抱いている時の態度を指すのに使われます。スポーツや職場でも、チームの一員が不満を示して協調性を欠く様子を表現する時に使われます。
Days who just sulk and have far too much. Days who just sulk and have far too much. And we've had a no dickhead policy for quite a while.
ディックヘッドはスラングで人を侮辱的に表現する言葉です。意味としては嫌なやつ、バカなやつ、意地悪なやつといったネガティブな評価を指します。特に誰かの行動が無礼、自己中心的、または愚かであると感じたときに、軽蔑を込めて使われます。
And we've had a no dickhead policy for quite a while. And we've had a no dickhead policy for quite a while. Went under the radar a little bit probably.
アンダーザレーダーは目立たずに、知られずに、気づかれないようにという意味の表現です。航空用語でレーダーに捉えられないという意味から派生して、控えめであったり注目を浴びなかったりすることを表します。
Went under the radar a little bit probably. Went under the radar a little bit probably. He's getting to grips with all of us too, so. He's getting to grips with all of us too, so. He's getting to grips with all of us too, so.
いかがでしたか？遠藤航の価値が再評価されているのがわかるような動画ではないでしょうか。遠藤航だけでなく、ジョー・ゴメスや他のサブメンバーも同様にスポットが当てられ、称賛されることも同様に嬉しく感じますね。今後も遠藤航のプレーが見れることは間違いないですし、プレー時間が増えることはリバプールファンも想像できることのように思います。また試合は多くありますので、次の試合を楽しみにしましょう。本日もご視聴いただきありがとうございました。またすぐにお会いしましょう。